And there's new reporting on a phone call between the president and the founder of Amazon, Jeff Bezos. Sources telling CNN that the president at one point wasn't happy earlier today about a report he saw regarding the online retail giant.
President about Amazon's announcement. This is a hostile and political act by Amazon.
On Amazon, in this report that Amazon might start listing the additional cost on specific items put in place by the tariffs.
A quiet storm is reshaping the backbone of global commerce. And at the center of it stands Amazon. Imagine logging on to buy a simple household item, only to find its price has jumped not because of scarcity or corporate greed, but because of government tariffs. At the start of 2025, the Trump administration launched a sweeping new trade policy, a baseline 10% tariff on nearly all imports, and a staggering 145% tariff on goods from China. The world's supply chains built over decades were thrown into chaos overnight. For Amazon, which controls nearly 40% of U.S. e-commerce, it was the greatest crisis in its history. Electronics, clothing, kitchen appliances, everything suddenly carried an enormous price tag. The company faced a brutal choice: absorb billions in losses or pass the pain on to customers. Neither was sustainable. Within weeks, Amazon made a bold move. It restructured $13 billion in supply chain contracts, abandoning long-standing ties to Chinese factories and Pacific shipping lanes. Instead, it shifted production to Mexico, India, and Vietnam, regions less hit by tariffs. This wasn't a tweak. It was a seismic transformation. Mexico became Amazon's new lifeline. Warehouses and trucking routes expanded almost overnight, turning border cities like Monterrey and Tijuana into logistics powerhouses. By the end of 2025, Amazon's Mexican facilities had grown by more than 1-3 at the same time. Vietnam's factories surged with new orders for electronics and apparel, while India emerged as a rising hub for both tech and textiles. Billions of dollars in new contracts anchored these nations deeper into the global supply chain. But in America, the story was very different. Container traffic through Los Angeles and Long Beach plummeted, costing thousands of port and trucking jobs. Local businesses that relied on trade saw fewer customers. What was meant to protect American workers instead hollowed out key industries. And for consumers, prices inevitably crept upward. Analysts warned that by early 2026, household essentials could climb 10 to 20%. What was once the cheapest option for millions Amazon risked becoming a symbol of inflation. Meanwhile, retailers like Walmart and Target sounded alarms of their own. Rising costs threatened their everyday low-price models. Toy makers like Mattel scrambled to relocate production, but faced delays and shortages. The ripple effects touched nearly every aisle of American consumer life. Globally, however, new winners emerged. Mexico, Vietnam, and India gained investment, jobs, and influence. Amazon's pivot permanently redrew the map of global trade, shifting opportunity away from U.S. ports and into emerging markets. The lesson is sobering. Protectionist walls don't stop global giants. They simply reroute them. Amazon proved it could rewire billions in supply chains within months. Smaller firms crumbled, but the giant adapted. For American workers, the tariffs brought uncertainty. For Mexico, India, and Vietnam, they brought growth. And for the rest of the world, Amazon's $13 billion restructuring became a wake-up call. In a connected economy, no policy exists in isolation.